Where'd you find this?
Radio. Yeah. Find a way. We gon' find. We gon' find a way. Find a way. Hey, yeah. We gon' find a way. We gon' find a way. Yeah. We gon' find a way to survive another day. Survive another day. We gon' find a way. We gon' find a way. It's my ride away. That's my ride away. Damn, it's my ride today to find my ride away. Damn, it's my ride today to find my ride away. Yeah, it's my ride away to find my ride today. Whoa, yeah, whoa, we gon' find a way. They live too, but we gon' find a way to survive another day. Yeah, we gon' find a way. We gon' find a way. We gon' find a way. Survive another day. We gon' find a way. Survive another day. Yeah, we gon' find a way. Survive another day. We gon' find a way. Survive another day. It's my right away. It's my right away. Damn, it's my right away to get my right today. Damn, it's my right away. Whoa, we gon' find a way. Survive another day. We gon' find a way to survive another day. Damn, we gon' find a way. Survive another day. We gon' find a way. Survive another day. Damn, it's my ride away. It's my ride today. To use my ride away. Damn, get my ride today. It's my ride away. Cause guess what? We gon' find a way to survive another day. We gon' find a way. We gon' find a way. Survive another day. Damn, it's my ride away. Get my ride today. Whoa, it's my ride away. Get my ride today. Damn.
Do you too? Today's video, I'm gonna chime in with a quick impromptu video. In today's video, I want to talk about Hollywood doesn't clone certain celebrities right away, or they don't clone celebrities right away at all. What they usually do is they MK Ultra them up a few times before they actually clone them. Now, sorry, I'm eating some gummy bears, but so really what it is like the only time they really clone somebody right away is if that person is very, 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 very valuable to them. You know, very special, rare type of bloodline type of thing, and they don't want that type of talent to be a liability. They don't want the type of talent to be at risk of, you know, being like, you know, it's an investment, but they don't want it to be a liability or whatever. And, you know, they protect these people like heavily. And if push comes to shove, excuse me, like, if they get like injured or something, like where Michael Jackson got his head burnt during that Pepsi commercial, they actually cloned Michael Jackson during that period of time when he was under the knife, aka, you know, surgery. He was being revamped, and ever since then, during that time, I remember this shit. You could just look on little magazines that used to be in the grocery store, and it always be something about Michael Jackson. No, like Michael Jackson nose like came off, or nose surgery, or like, you know, some skin shit. Like, it was always some different shit because that was the clone version of him. The other version of him, they probably killed the real version, real talk, because that's usually what they do. You know, because they have a carbon copy, which is a clone, a duplicate, and they don't really need the real version no more because they don't need that real consciousness speaking out. And yeah, that's like the only exception. But usually what they do is, like, for example, they don't clone celebrities like, you know, like you got like some A-listers, and, you know, you got some B-listers and shit like that. Like, and that's just acting, but like even in like sports and shit, you got some A-listers, some B-listers, some C-listers, that, you know, and music, all the same thing, you know, etc., etc. Excuse me, you know, fashion industry, all that, you know, cooking industry, all that shit. A-listers, B-listers, C-listers, all that shit. And the thing is, what they'll do is if they start to get out of control or, speaking out and shit, if it's a person that they really feel like they can do without, they're going to sacrifice that person instantly. You know what I mean? Or they're gonna put that person under MK Ultra and make them kill themselves to stage it as a suicide. You see what I'm saying? Like real talk. I'm telling you, this shit get real deep. Like it's that monarch mind control. You know what I'm saying? They'll fuck with you. Like it's that Manchurian candidate shit, man, with Denzel Washington, bro. That's really what it is. It's that movie is a perfect example. Like, you know what I mean? It's MK Ultra mind control. Period. And they can program you to be like this: a good slave. Maybe you're gonna obey your handlers, and the more you obey your handlers, you notice that they get more freedom to do stuff. Then once they start speaking out, or once their consciousness, their real self, start to speak out, MK Ultra them up again. Then that's when they start looking different. That's when they start acting different, and that's how they fool your mind, because it's all about the perception of the eye. You see what I'm saying? And they, oh, this nigga just got cloned, bro. Hell no. Usually what they do is they MK Ultra them up, put like a different type of like mood on them, different type of personality trait. And that motherfucker start acting and dressing different. And you think it's a clone, but the whole time it's the same motherfucker. He's just under a stronger MK Ultra programming. You see what I'm saying? Like with Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Kanye, they did that when he actually spoke out against like Google and all that shit. This was like back in what, like 2016? He was at that concert and everybody was like, boo, on some lame shit. But Kanye was really speaking some real shit, though. Kanye always speaking some real shit. That's his real self. That's his real consciousness speaking out. And once he say some shit, that them people don't like, there's like a different MK Ultra mind control Kanye did. Kanye in the tabloids with a mental breakdown. He's back in the hospital and all this different shit like that. It's a different MK Ultra programming and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? I'll give you another example, like with Bernie Mac. They start, when I say they, like, those reptilians, let's just say that, they, these Hollywood puppets, not all of them, you got some decent ones, but some Hollywood puppets, they was introducing, like, the cloning lab and the MK Ultra and all, like, the hypnosis and shit to Bernie Mac, other different comedians. And Bernie Mac, he's from Chicago and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He has that strong personality, like I'm gonna call it how it is type shit. Bernie Mac, he started speaking out about this shit, saying we should expose it and all this different type of shit like that. And he was like, you know what, we can do without Bernie Mac. We don't want to clone Bernie Mac because they don't even want another Bernie Mac around. Like we don't even want a carbon copy of like that personality is too strong. Like that type of personality type has a risk of that real consciousness coming back out and exposing something, even as a clone. You see what I'm saying? So they don't want to clone them. You know what I mean? Like they just do away with them, like shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot of different shit that's going on, and then like a lot of this stuff be clone deaths too. You know what I mean? Real shit. And then besides the clones, you also have they fake their deaths and shit. Like I won't say all of them, like I said, like with Bernie Mac and like certain people like that, they actually get rid of them. Like they don't want them around. You see what I'm saying? So they actually really will whack them, the Hollywood whackers. You go check that movie out, and it explains basically what that means. And yeah, but then when there's certain celebrities, like when they killing their image or they killing their character off the world stage, you know what I mean, as in the media perception, they be like, oh, this person, they die by the numbers in the ritual, gematria, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a sacrifice killing, the whole time, that was like they either fake their death, which they can still fake their death if they clone, but, or they just fake their death and it's like a doppelganger or some shit, or like a random sacrifice, and they make it out to be that. So it is real deep and shit when it comes to that type of stuff, but yeah, they don't just clone them, they MK Ultra them up a few times. Then once that don't start working, then we gonna clone you. We're gonna control your clone through the clone lab. Right? Okay? And like I said, you can look this shit up. This is real. Like, this is real. Clone 8. That's not the only clone center, but that's the one I'm familiar with. It's in Canada. You know what I mean? And, you can go look up Kid Boo. He talk about it. You know what I mean? He got his certifications of being a clone, and he got the paperwork and all that. Like, so the shit real. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just, it'll mind boggle you, man. The shit that's out here, like, it's, because this is all different tactics of Satan. It's still Satan. It's just one of his many woes or plots to try to get over on the Most High and shit. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna send a clone at you to fuck with your mind. Oh, I'm gonna send a reptilian. I'm gonna send a drone. I'm gonna send, you know, principality. Like all this different shit. Like it gets deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? But the shit's crazy, man. Like if you really think about it and really go pay attention to it, even go, you can even do the gematria on it if you want to. But just from a spiritual, metaphysical perspective, just look at this shit, man. Like, come on, bro. This shit is a game, especially to them. I got some more videos coming soon that's gonna fuck you up. You feel me? Wake the damn up.